Always worried about Barry, dude.
Where the where's that wiki at?
This one?
Yeah.
That's a great question because you know what? I didn't know it exists until someone told me about it in chat last night. I looked everywhere for it.
Supervive wiki. Oh, you sent it to me. Perfect.
Yeah,
Nice.
I figured that'd be easier.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty sick. No, running with the FA peeps is always a good time. Every time I get on now, I run around and he's a personal trainer that makes complete sense. I buy that yes.
Here's my health 950, 57.
All right, chat. So I'm gonna go through and break down all the characters here.
Fuck are these
Of
stats?
Yeah, it gets crazy. Yeah, I knew who you were talking about, Kamar. I knew you meant Barry. Um,
There's
we're gonna go through all the hunters on Supervive. That way we can kind of get an idea of what
these
each of
some of
them
these
does.
ratings better not be out of 10.
Out of,
If
huh?
that's out of 10, I got questions. Like, fucking excuse me.
Do you have any idea, first idea, which character is broken already? From what I played, I don't feel like anybody felt like specifically broken. I felt like a lot of from what I played of the hunters, it seemed like all of them have at least some sort of weakness, which is which is good. Like, and it's just learning to play around your team. Um, I know nothing about Stalker or Gunner. I didn't see either of them. But like Celeste offers a ton of control. Luna is great at healing. Offer has a backpack passive. I would say Kingpin is the only one I saw a lot of people talk about maybe being on the weaker side. But I think you just have to have a lot of idea of like how you're going to grab and control people.
This passive is a little dumb.
But we'll start off with Bishop.
Okay, can I start off by saying, because I read ahead of you,
Yeah, yeah.
why does Bishop sound like a better version of the fucking dragon from Paladins? Just
Um,
off the passive alone.
Dragov, was that his name?
Yeah, Drogov.
Yeah.
Off
Uh,
the passive alone, Bishop sounds 10 times better to play.
yeah. Scoring a direct hit grants you the has a larger exploder ration, deals 60%. Yeah, that is so much better. Oh my god.
You don't even have to use another ability to gain that. You're
No,
just literally
you
just hit your
just got it.
shots.
Yeah. And like the thing is, when Bishop dives you, it is a time. Like I
Oh
felt like I was
my god.
getting ran down.
Yeah, because it's a rundown character based off this
Yep.
first ability.
Yeah, you have ballista, so you fire that deals the damage as moderate radius. Their explosives have fall off damage. When activates, your next shock fires, and you have a large exploded radius that deals 66% bonus damage.
Here's what kills me. The
Yep.
explosions have fall off damage.
Yep.
So you're literally encouraging this character to be in someone's face at all times. So hey guys, I
Yep.
now have 66, another 66, another 60.
Yeah, because you basically have to play that. You're like you're playing this character, and this is where it gets interesting, right? Because you read this and you're like, oh, I'm gonna build this full damage because I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna dive in there and just go nuts.
No, the
But
attack
you
power
could,
rating is already 7. Just build your toughness.
but you just build toughness. Like you just go
Yeah,
that and like and like
you just put
movement,
it's bruiser.
and it's GG's.
This is
That's the
literally a
thing.
bruiser character. There's no need for
I've seen people go full damage on it, and they have to pay for it. But there's also that tie-in of where they also they have that chance to
oh
go crazy. Um,
my bro.
Detonation,
What
place
the
an explosive
character's gonna look
satchel
like? Am I
that
gonna be thinking this
explodes.
for every character?
Yeah, probably.
What the am I
After
looking at?
six seconds delay, it knocks back you and nearby enemies. Reactivate to detonate early.
What?
Yo, what's up, JS2 Dub Dubu? How you doing? How you doing? Your detonate satchel. So overall, you just get it's basically like you're throwing down. Uh,
Timeout.
yeah,
Why does this do as much damage as his main ability? What?
160, 180, 200. Yeah, yeah.
Wh-
And launch boots launch boots is crazy too because the explosion damage on launch boots for jumping in. By the way, like your dash, your shift, you blast yourself in the air and deal damage in a
Mhm.
small radius around your feet, knocking back enemies. It deals 120 damage at max rank, but you at max rank you get 3 charges of it, so you have multiple charges of the dash.
What?
Yeah,
Uh, At least it's a BR, so movement's important, so it makes more sense for him to have that many charges.
yeah.
That's 360 damage if you land them all.
Yeah, it gets wild out there. Rocket punch, you charge for 0.5 seconds, then punch all enemies in front of you, knocking them back. Enemies knocked into a wall are damaged again and dealt max HP damage of their max health as damage in a small radius that also knocks up enemies. You gain a flat HP shield plus bonus max HP shield per enemy, stacking up to 4 times. This is better Gilgamesh from Smite, by the way. Like this is like the kick, except
You you
you,
literally, without even needing your ultimate,
yeah,
just launch boots in, use your ballistics, use your rocket punch, launch boots again on the same person,
yeah.
use ballistics. You probably
If
won't have your rocket punch up, so you either launch boots or you detonate this time.
here's what I find, here's the
You,
part where I talked about they have a weakness. If you miss, you're heavily slowed for 0.5 seconds.
oh, of course, if you miss,
Which is great because like it means like cool, if I'm going to take this idea
punishment.
of going in, I'm going to get punished for it. The other part I like about this is it says Iron Fist. This ability can punch trees.
Uh,
uh
uh,
Blast off your suit, blast off towards your target location. If you hit an enemy, you jump in your current movement input direction. And based on how long you travel, this is
what?
what you damage. Other enemies in a moderate radius are damaged and knocked out of the way.
You stun them for up to
Yeah,
2 seconds based on. I mean, it's a skill based ability at that point,
it
though.
is. It is. But still, this gives you the kind of idea of like what to expect with these hunters, like because they're all kind of insane, which is good. Like I think that's a kind of a nice way to play.
This dude, okay. Well, this is like a mind blowing kit because we're used to MOBAs.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, imagine this kit with this much damage across the board.
Oh yeah, it's
It's
it's crazy.
like we'd be like, "What are you thinking?"
Next one is Brawl. Brawl, I did not play, but I had a teammate that played him. Shout out to Dr. Montag.
Okay, so this is not a. I'm sorry. Why is this not a tank?
Yeah,
Whoa, 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 whoa. This looks like this is supposed to be a tank.
and you can build as a tank. That's the thing
But
is
he
like
has
you can
no
pick up
toughness.
right, but you could pick up items to make up for that difference. So you can
Is he
choose to.
support?
No, he's damage.
He's damaged with boosted. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What
So
is the hold on? Time the fuck out. We had a damage dealer who
yeah,
is
yeah,
rated 7 power and 5 toughness
yeah,
with
yeah,
950 health
yeah,
base,
yeah.
right? And this
But
guy's at 1175 and he's not a tank. The last one's not a tank. The fuck does a tank look like?
yeah, but the other thing is to mention is on the other one, right? When you're looking at Bishop,
Mhm.
you have the ability to get a match XP shield, and like you are getting a lot
No,
of
I
CC in the
get that,
kit.
but I'm saying like he's a damage dealer, so you could turn him
Yeah,
bruiser.
yeah, yeah,
This guy's a damage dealer too. But looking at the stats, it's like, what am I gonna see on a true fucking tank?
yeah. Oh, it's crazy. True tanks are tanks. They are hard to kill in the sense of like they don't the TTK on them is you're gonna actually sink some damage into them.
Yeah.
So your passive is when you deal damage, you gain bonus damage and double speed. Ability haste, knock an enemy hunter or killing a creep gives you 20% of the enemy's max health. You can climb double high ground walls with a jump. You must be facing the wall to climb it.
I'm sorry, you get healed for 20% of the enemy's max
20%.
health?
Yep.
Not how much health they have, whatever their max health is?
Yep. Yep. So if it's 950, you're getting 95 times 2. That feels pretty good. It feels pretty good. You're getting that 190 back.
Oh
Your left
my god.
click is going to be chain up to 4 hit combo. Third, fourth, and max range hits deal bonus damage. Hits generate a small amount of
This wait a minute.
charge blade.
That
Yeah.
passive doesn't have a cooldown, right? It's every damage.
Yep.
And it's not one per ability. It's lit.
Right. So you're really like you're speeding up. Like you have a reason to get in there and fight.
Yeah, you could. I mean, if
And
he gets the healing item on top of it.
yeah, if you get Omni Vamp on him, you could go crazy.
Oh my god. All right.
Um, you release a fire blast deals damage. You can restore mana and it quickly builds. And then it shows the quick attacks on all those. So basically, you're gonna do
This
some
is like
pretty good damage.
Susanoo or
Yeah.
what's his face from what league?
Oh my goodness,
The fuck is his name?
I don't have it.
The
My
one that was
brain's
known
gone.
as a cheese character for the longest fucking time.
It's not Yasuo,
Yasuo.
is it? Yeah, Yasuo. Your heavy attack, you can deal execution damage. Damage with a heavy swing that deals up to X times more base of the enemy's missing health. Knocking an enemy into a sweet spot sends them instantly to the death box and resets your
What?
ability. Charge up this dash attack that deals damage. Yeah, it's crazy.
He's got to be slow. He's got to be slow. Right?
Okay,
Like
I
that's the
could go.
point of his passive is he's
Yeah,
slow.
like, but if you're attacking, he gets to schmoove in. You know what I mean? He puts the
No,
Nikes
right.
on.
So like he's normally slow.
Yeah, yeah. Normally
But once he's
slow,
in there,
but once he's in there, he's moving.
yeah, okay, that makes that I was like, it has to be that way. There's no
Yeah.
way this dude's gonna have normal or fast movement speed plus getting all like there's no way.
Your withering spin, you become incorporeal for 0.2 seconds dash, dealing damage in AOE. You hit enemies with anti heal, and the
I'm
one
sorry,
thing I do,
incorporeal?
yeah, I don't know how to say that. Am I wrong?
Isn't that the one where you go like hidden?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my god.
I thought I said it wrong. To be fair, I thought the math
There's
teacher in
no
me.
I don't know where you read incorporeal at. I'm trying to find the
It's
yeah, it's
under withering
incorporeal.
spin.
That's incorporeal.
Yeah, ghostly presence. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And what I like about Supervive is when you get anti heal, it says anti heal above you. So
oh,
it
that's
lets
nice.
you know that you are under anti heal, which is
Yeah,
really,
that's
really
good.
nice. It's a nice HUD element that's there.
Yeah,
Um,
especially since during a fight, you're not gonna be looking at your health bar. You're gonna be
no,
like focusing
you're
on the fight, and
you're not
after you
looking
take
for
so much damage.
these little images to tell you what the debuff is on you. Like, because it's too fast paced to be looking for that. So it's a nice change.
Yeah.
You have air slam, strike downwards, dealing damage. The center of the ring does. Dude, this is so hard. Ability stuns and enemies for stun durations on the outer ring. Ability slows. So if you're in the
Wait, so
middle,
you
stuns. Outer
choose
ring
which one?
slows. It looks like it. I haven't
What do you
played him.
choose?
Well, so I know on some of the abilities, like for instance, Aluna, when we look at her in a few, you'll see that she has a dash, but you can also level up her air
Mm.
dash.
I'm curious. I was gonna say, is this one where you select which one you go
I think
into,
so. Yes,
or
you
is
pick
this
one or the
one
other.
where? Well, I was also gonna think about stance switcher.
Oh, maybe we'll have to see. Does he have a
Like
stance
you
switch?
use one into the. Oh. No, that would be bad. That would be so
No,
bad.
I think you pick. I think you
Oh
pick. I think you
no,
pick.
no, no. One's airborne, one's not.
Oh yeah, air slam. Okay, yeah, yeah. My bad.
Okay, I'm glad I
So
noticed that. I was
that
like,
Aluna has that too. Like, so she has a dash,
okay,
but then she has a dash you can trigger in the air that goes so much further. So
yeah.
that part's really nice. Here left shift is your quick dash, dashing in the way you're
All
facing.
charges on refreshed are refreshed on
Yeah.
what?
So it refunds mana cost on hit. So if you hit somebody,
Yeah, that I'm fine with your mana cost getting refunded, but all charges are refreshed. Does that include your big bad ultimate?
I don't think so.
I
There's no way.
it,
There's no
it,
way.
all charges.
I like
Uh,
how the execution ratio on this is 0.03.
oh, oh, wait, no, 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 no. Is it? that wording's a little confusing.
It is.
Is it for the quick dash charges or is it for all abilities?
I think it's for quick dash charges.
That's
That
what I'm
makes more sense
starting
to
to
me.
think, but in the wording as it is, it makes me think every ability on cooldown,
Right.
but
Well,
it could
like
just be
even the wording
has
in
to be.
these is really interesting. This is really like mathy because like you have the
Mhm.
slam damage plus slam damage ratio. And like I love this, but if I'm a just regular person reading through this,
You're
this
gonna be lost in, like,
is a
what?
this is atrocious to some aspect.
Well,
Like
I think this is also for, like, when people are forming teams for coaches to be able to
yes,
better divvy out
yes,
what people should be going for, and those who really wanna set metas, what they wanna go for, because the average player, they're gonna see this, and they're gonna be like, "You know what? I just gotta play him to get a feel for it." And then they're
yep,
gonna start seeing the results better than
exactly.
thinking of the result.
Well, and the thing I was gonna say that I like that you have literally every little thing that goes with this ability. So like when I'm
Yeah.
looking at the quick dash, it tells me how much it knocks back. I don't know what 40,000 is currently because like that's a feel thing, like to understand that part. But like lets me know the dash speed, the dash duration, the sweet spot range, the max charges, the damage output, the cost. I mean, like it literally gives you every little tiny piece of nitty gritty information, which is really really nice. So I do give them that. Tether chain, throw a tether hook that attaches enemies to enemies or walls. Tethering to an enemy deals damage plus ratio damage and applies anti heal. Reactivate to pull yourself toward the target.
I
Basically, better Osiris.
It's not even better Osiris. This is like playing fucking Blitzcrank
It is.
or,
Ooh, that's a better example. Yeah, it's like Blitzcrank.
what's this fucking not Dredge,
Oh no, no. The ADC guy. What's his name? Oh
no,
my
not the
god,
ADC, it's another support. He has it's the
Thresh.
ghost Thresh, yes,
Yeah.
Thresh. It's like Blitzcrank or Thresh.
Well, it's
It's more
Thresh,
like Thresh,
right? It's more like Thresh, but he has the ability to attach to walls too.
which is Blitzcrank.
Can Blitzcrank pull the walls? Am I
He pulls
crazy?
himself to him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think he pulls himself to him.
I don't remember, to be honest. I never played
There's
a lot of Blitzcrank.
someone that can.
There's an ADC Ashka can, um, and he
That's
does
can
like this.
fuck it.
Yeah, and he does that weird
We're
thing.
talking supports who actually matter, not trash little ADC motherfuckers who can just go crit and go bird.
um, Retaliation. Become invulnerable for 0.65 seconds, then strike back, dealing damage plus ratio damage. You have a lifesteal of the damage dealt to the
That
enemy hit. Knocking an
dude,
enemy with retaliation
0.65
resets its
seconds.
cooldown.
That sounds like a really fast time, but that is a long time in a fucking fight.
There we go, Astra. It's Nautilus that can pull, not Blitzcrank to
Blitzcrank
walls.
pulls.
Not to walls. Blitzcrank pulls
No,
target.
not two walls, but he pulls.
Yeah. I
But
was
yeah,
thinking
no,
about I
Nautilus
was
not
thinking
so
about
good.
who I
I
was
knew it
like
was a
who
support. I knew it was one of the supports that like that ability was sounding to almost to the T.
I was just trying to figure out. I was like, dude, I know there's someone that pulls to walls. I was like, and it's not Blitz, and I just Nautilus just
Well,
wasn't coming
so
to me.
Nautilus and Thresh both do the same thing with pulling
Yeah,
themselves to the target, like, but it's like a halfway meeting point thing.
yeah. All right, that's Brawl.
Yeah, Nautilus,
Felix is a crazy fox with a flamethrower, which I appreciate. Um, your base health 1,000.
another
You get
attacker.
60 or health. Move speed's 465. You have your ability power at 7, toughness at 4. Your passive is you dealing damage with abilities and attacks builds flames on enemies, eventually igniting them. Dealing damage over a duration, there are 2 levels of this damage. Level 1 deals burning damage, and then your magic damage, which is called burning scalar, of the target's max health as damage every second. This is
Get
not lethal damage. Level 2 is the same thing, but it becomes lethal damage. So if you get level 2 burn on them, it becomes lethal and can kill.
I'm curious what determines level 2.
I think it's a I think you have to like actually keep the flames procced on them a certain amount of time.
Okay.
But I'm not 100% on that, and I don't what's weird is I
It
don't
doesn't
think
tell you.
it doesn't tell that's like one piece of information it doesn't give us. Level
Hmm.
2 max health scalar is at 0.01, but that doesn't tell us anything.
I like this last
It
part
is
though.
a stacking part though. Enemies
Enemies
can't
can
consume. Yeah,
consume food to remove ignite. I like that because that gives you good counterplay. This
yeah,
lessens the burden because this means like once you're in a fight, you're not going to be
yep,
able to consume food.
yep.
So when you're in a fight, he's there. We either need to kill him or we need to run away if it's going to, you know, take us down.
Well, it,
That split second decision making. But if it's just a one on one and you're like, well, I've got movement on this guy. I can just get out, eat real quick, regroup.
and the thing I like here is from when I played Felix, this doesn't feel like abhorrently strong. Like, yeah, you can
Yeah.
constantly hold out flamethrower, but like it's kind of like Yorm tick, where like it's like ticking on you, but
Hmm.
it's annoying because like if I don't get away from this guy, it's gonna hit a level 2 range where it's starting to do more damage. And then I need to be concerned. But like initially you're just like, this is annoying. I'm just getting damage pumped out on me. Which leads into first ability being flamethrower. Obviously, you hold a fire stream of flames, dealing your damage per second. Enemies after burning them, you burn them after a long enough time. Buffer duration is zero point 0.6. It does not mention again the levels and what that scaling is on those. I guess I should mention that the level one's called burning damage, and level two is called blazing damage. So that's interesting. Um, right clicks
Oh,
firebolt. What's up?
I wonder if that is based off your level and you level your abilities with it.
Maybe like level two happens after a certain point. I don't know because
Yeah, because like,
I don't think you level the passive, but maybe you do.
well, it may just be once you hit a certain point, it auto levels with you.
True, true.
Because I'm reading Firebolt 2,
Yeah, firebolt.
and it's talking about level 3.
Yeah, at level three, recover 25% of firebolt's cooldown, which is super sick. And the nice
So
part
if
about
you're leveling
firebolt
abilities,
is this is your like long range shot with Felix,
yeah.
giving you that damage ratio. It also levels up the level of ignite, and it spreads nearby enemies after the level one upgrade.
Hmm? Oh, maybe it doesn't then. Maybe it's based off your abilities.
It might be. That's one thing I'm gonna
If
have to test because I don't know. That's
if it's focusing on combos,
yeah,
so you hit him with flamethrower, you hit him with firebolt, bam, you're ignite level 2.
that might be the case. Might be the case for well, it would be the case with that setup. Flame Skull Bash, Dash and Flames, dealing magic damage. Also applies Ignite. Has two charges. At level 3, recover 25% of the cooldown whenever Ignite is applied or upgraded. Flame Shield, and this ability felt really, really good. Is you spin to deal magic damage, and the damage to nearby enemies applies anti heal for 3 seconds and pulls them towards you. If at least one enemy is hit, you gain a shield of your max HP and increases based on the level of the enemy's hit, or for the level 1, bonus max HP level 2. Shield lasts for 3 seconds. When you knock back an enemy, reset the cooldown of Flame Shield. So if you get a knockback on this, it's kind of massive.
Yeah, so this has to be what it has to be based off combos.
It has to be.
So
Jetpack,
flamethrower,
you rocket around and leave a fiery
yeah,
death behind you.
okay. So this is telling me
Definitely
that
combo.
yeah, what it looks like is most of the time you're probably going to start off with flamethrower.
Yeah.
You're going to build it up. You're going to firebolt to try and make it level
Yeah, I think I was. It depending
4.
on. If I engaged from range, I was doing firebolt first into flamethrower, or dashing flamethrower, and then I'd plop flame shield once I got into the fight.
Maybe instead of flamethrower, you flame skull bash,
Yeah, that could be it too for sure.
flame skull, firebolt, hold down your flamethrower after that for waiting on cooldowns, and then when you need to, you flame shield because you'll be building up your ignite level already.
Yeah, there's a lot of versatility here for
Mm,
sure.
yeah, and then your escape is your ult, or if
Huh.
we'll dash back up.
Maramara, Lilith, Haya, who are the best characters currently? I think right now I have not played every single character in the playtest. I've played with most of them on my teams. I've played several of them. I think it's going to come down to a lot of comfort level of what your playstyle is. I didn't feel like any character was so overpowered that they couldn't be dealt with. It seems like every character has like a negative side effect that's counterable, and just your team having the knowledge of how to play against it is important. Um, I think there's some interesting like movement tech to get used to, where like for instance, like Shiv can throw a dagger and move around really easily. I think that's kind of a thing to keep in mind. I think Kingpin is the one I've seen people talk about being the worst. Um, but from what I've experienced, I think Kingpin has a lot of upsides, but I haven't got to the point of reading his past yet. We're just going through every character in the wiki and kind of checking them out to get an idea of who we think is where and how they should work. So next one's Ghost. We saw a lot of Ghost in that trailer. Ghost, 950 health, 57 per level, move speed's 455, attack power 8, toughness 4. This is, how do I put this in the nicest way possible? This is Mr. Call of Duty of the game, okay? Every game has to have their
This
Mr.
is your
Call of
Soldier
Duty. Yeah,
76,
this
your
is your Soldier
freaking What's his
76.
face from Paladin.
Your yeah. This is every game
It
has to have one, okay?
Yeah,
Um
this is the classic MOBA BR. If we have guns in it, this is the guy to ease you into it.
Yeah, goes Burr. So passive combat sim, knocking an enemy back, resets, ability shift cooldown, so you get your shift back faster, which means you can dash more. Your left click is you hold to fire a 30 round magazine. It deals damage. The damage decays over your first 10 rounds to 50% for the remaining 20 rounds in the magazine. So it's worth like getting them to reload in some capacity. Spike grenade. Throw a sticky grenade that explodes after a short delay, dealing damage. Enemies caught in the explosive are for 1 second. Dazed for 1 second, sorry. When spike grenade sticks to the terrain, it explodes in a cone, knocking enemies back and dazing them for twice as long. Enemies launched into terrain are stunned. Knocking back an enemy reduces spike grenade's cooldown. This grenade option here is really interesting and cool. The fact that it has a multiple set of uses, I think, is very interesting. Because if you stick it to an enemy, they're dazed for a second. But if you get it on the ground in a team fight, it dazes for 2 seconds instead. If it launches them into a wall, they get stunned. I think that's a pretty nice kind of change for Mr. Call of Duty. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that one, Vengeance? I think that's a kind of nice setup.
I mean, it.
I will.
It's what's the benefit for even sticking it to the enemy though? There is
There
none.
isn't. There isn't one. I mean,
It
if well, I guess if you're fighting like a single target, like if you get to like a split fight and you wanted to get someone dazed so you can take them out, like you want to get the heal, shut down the healer from getting them to heal or like stopping a revive, sticking them would be important.
No, don't even worry about sticking them. Use it to cut off their path.
Well, yeah,
They have to choose to either run through it, or they have to stay and fight you, or they have to try and glide around, which could offer you punishment.
yeah, it is
It
weird.
it gives you multiple choices, but there's no direct benefit for sticking them. What if you stick them, it explodes immediately?
Yeah,
Because it seems like it's going to be a skill one to hit them with. It
yeah,
doesn't
but you
sound
don't.
like, "Oh, it
But you don't.
sticks because it hit you in this radius." Like, it's you throw it, whatever it hits is what it sticks to.
Yeah, I don't know. I really think it, it's weird that it getting the cone damage off the terrain does a longer days to me. I wish that was kind of flip flopped. I don't know. Combat slide. Guess what? They slide it. Now, what makes Ghost not Mr. Call of Duty for a second is ion cannon. This is a charged laser cannon that fires a beam. It deals damage, and you can hit an enemy hunter with the beam. It reduces the cooldown. Targets take 20% extra damage when dazed. It pierces through most terrain and objectives, and it's super long range compared to the rest of his kit.
Oh, this is literally just this is an ultimate actually in,
Yeah, in the form of an
Paragon.
ability. Yeah.
Murdoch.
Yeah, it is Murdoch. That is true.
That's great. I like it. I like
The
it. It's
ultimate
still Call of Duty though.
uh ultimate's mini nuke. You fire a mini nuke at target location. It deals damage increased by 50% in the center of the
I knew you were
radius.
talking about those.
It leaves behind a fire zone for 3 seconds that deals dot damage, and damage per second also slows enemies. There's also a nuke item in the game, I believe. So, um, mini nuke here can be a great way to kind of cause a zone to be unfightable. Or if you get them kind of stuck in a corridor, they have to make a choice to like teleport out or use all their movement to get away and fight into you, or they just have to eat that damage. But I think Ghost probably is the easiest character to pick up and try. I mean, like really, it's Mr. COD.
Yeah,
Jewel,
I mean, it's nice to have that good, straightforward character to introduce people
100%,
to.
100%.
It's I'm curious what the tanks and healers are gonna be like to kinda counteract that because maybe that'll prevent it from him being too like, he'll be easy to learn, but not easy to fight with.
Yeah, I can see that. Jewel's our next character. I did play Jewel in the playtest, and Jewel feels really, really good. Jewel is super fun to play. So, uh, max health 1,060 per level, 465 movement speed, 7 on the rating for power, 4 toughness. Passive's called Gathering Storm. Damaging enemy hunters applies stacks of static. At 4 stacks, the target is charged. Dashing through static charged enemies with the ability Surge damages them for 20% of their maximum health, plus the attack power ratio resets your dash ability's cooldown and restores 100 mana. Hitting enemies with your right click uh, spawns lightning orbs. Walking over an orb resets the ability of Surge's cooldowns. So your first ability is Lightning Bolt, fire a Lightning Bolt that deals the damage and applies 1 stack of static. Right, your other form of left click Thunderclap cast to a location on the ground, just slam down upon it. So that's when you're up in the air. If you're up in the air, you can do Thunderclap. Lightning Spear, collate a Lightning Spear over 0.75 seconds and launch it at tremendous force, dealing damage and knocking back an first enemy hit. If they hit a wall or another enemy, they are stunned. Striking an enemy hunter spawns a Lightning Orb. Picking up the Lightning Orb resets the cooldowns of your ability. So again, kind of all like focusing on auto attack or getting your abilities off. You want to get as much static going. That way you can get orbs, and then orbs reset your cooldowns, and like it's really kind of keeping you going. Surge, you hold to charge your dash. So like you can do like a short dash, but if you hold it, you dash a longer range. Release the dash to go forward, damage to enemies you pass through. Hitting charge enemies resets his Surge's cooldown, so you get it fully reset, deals additional damage, and restores 100 mana. Again, collect orbs. Yep, skip, reset cooldowns. Your E is Lightning Javelin. Call down a delayed lightning bolt, bolt of lightning at a target location. Deals damage, applies 2 stacks of statics, and enemies while knocking them towards the bolt of location. So if you hit enemies, it's going to pull them into that AoE. And then your ult is called Eye of the Storm. You'll launch yourself into the air, transforming into a thunderstorm. Reactivate at a target location to crash downward, knocking back all enemies, dealing damage and applying stacks of static. Each enemy hunter hit spawns a lightning orb. When you're up in the air, you do thunderclap, and that's when you cast to choose a location on the ground to slam down to. I think she's really simple in the sense of like her kit just kind of flows, but she has her dash, and using it to get cooldown and do damage is really interesting. But I don't think there's anything like super insane about the kit that makes you go, okay, that's going to be overpowered. I think it's just one of those things like you play and it flows really nicely and it feels good. Kingpin, our first like support tank character, so Vengeance can get an idea of how tanky tanks are.
I'm sorry, this don't sound like a fucking tank, and this toughness rating does not look like a tank. What the f are you on about? Are you hello?
uh, I was trying to be positive here because he looks like he should be a tank and he's not. Um,
This dude's a weak assassin is what I'm
yes,
looking at.
Yeah, he is. He's not tanky at all. But I wanted us to believe that Kingpin with the name would be a tank. He is not a tank. Base max health 1125, 67.5 per level. Move
His
speed's
power rating
465.
trash.
His power rating's 3. His toughness is 5.
What?
So
What?
he's control. So there are characters that are control in the game. Kingpin is a control character,
But
and
his passive is 50% bonus backstab damage.
yeah, yeah.
Hello?
It's gonna make more sense in a second. So knockbacks and assists grant you 30 max health stacking. You lose half of those stacks on death. You deal 50% extra damage on the backstab.
Mhm.
Um, Left bumper, buckshot, fire a short range burst. Slugs dealing damage. Accuracy decreases dramatically with each attack. Kaiju grasp. Massively extend your arm, grabbing the first target it hits and pulling them to your location. Landing the grab refunds 25% of this ability's cooldown. Scoops wisps up along its path, pierces terrain. You can grab allies or enemies.
I
Yeah.
Please
Uh,
tell me that there's something else that makes him good.
nope. Left shift is you dash and go
What?
airborne, and you can air dash separate cooldowns. His E, Iron Smash, smash your fist in front of you, dealing damage to enemies. Uh,
What?
Stunning and slamming them. The force of the slam also sends you downward shortly after casting. Kaiju blast after delay, fire an energy blast of 6 projectiles, each dealing damage. After fire, 6 additional projectiles, each dealing the damage. Applies anti heal. This is the worst
Place?
character, I think. Yeah,
Where the fuck does this passive become useful for him?
it's not. It's not. And this is
You're
this
gonna stun. You're gonna stun. Hold on. How long is that stun duration?
not long enough. Not long
Stun
enough to
duration
matter.
is at most 1.7. You expect this guy to use the passive with that short
No.
of stun? He has nothing that puts him on anyone. It would be one thing if he grabs someone and they are turned so their back is to him, guarantees that a
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
a backstab or something. What is this character?
I'm just telling you
This
this
isn't
right
good.
now, Vengeance. I
You
was
have one
waiting to get to
control
this
ability.
character. I was
You have
waiting.
one control ability.
I was
This
waiting.
is not a Supervive. I need to have a fucking conversation about this character.
I'm not gonna lie. I was waiting to get to this character because I knew. I was like,
You
oh,
knew
I
it would
can't
trigger
wait.
me. You
I
knew
knew it
this
would.
would trigger.
I knew it would. I was waiting. I was like,
Here-
oh, I can't wait to get
here-
Kingbane.
Here's
This has been a discussion that
here's my
several of us have had
recommendation.
that this passive doesn't make sense for the character.
No,
It just,
here's
it
my
just doesn't.
recommendation.
It just doesn't.
Take away deal 50% bonus backstab damage.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. Make
I
this more like Mordekaiser.
yeah.
Make him tankier. Make him a bruiser, something. Like give him protections, give him health, give increase his toughness rating or whatever through this passive. So like there's no reason for him to have backstab. It would be different if he had an ability that it was a movement ability when you grab someone, you use your movement, you're behind them, they're stunned for 2.5 seconds at max, maybe. Give
Yeah.
him a and his attack speed increases.
It just doesn't make
Why,
sense. It
why
just
are
doesn't make
you
sense.
punishing him for a short range burst that accuracy decreases dramatically with each? What? Hello?
I would
Why are
rather
you?
almost see if you
If
if you
you're gonna
have them stunned or grabbed, you deal 50% bonus damage. Like you
you
know what I
gotta
mean?
here's the thing. You have to build a character, not just around the role, but around the passive you give them. If you make their passive, this passive is useless to him. You're
Yeah.
going to stun somebody, you're going to move behind them, and you're going to use one of your abilities, and then they are going to leave unless someone else stuns them.
Yeah.
But you're the control character. No one else should be stunning.
Yeah. The thing is, like, the first part of this passive sounds good. Like, you're like, oh, Nox and assist give me 30 max HP. That's great. And then I look at the second half of it and I'm like, I deal 50% bonus damage on backstab. Why? Like, what's the
Yeah,
point?
and that part is good that you get the stacking 30 HP, but I
I-
dude,
It's not enough. It's not enough for compared to the other characters. It's just not enough. It's not
the
enough.
50 maybe if that was 50% damage period,
Yeah.
I would be on board with this.
I think it
But the
was
fact that you have
50%.
included backstab damage, that he's not an assassin.
But what it,
He's
like,
not getting behind anybody.
I would be okay if it was like you deal 50% extra damage to characters stunned or grabbed. I think that might be okay. Maybe that's too
100%
OP,
because that focuses on his control.
but it focuses on his control. Now, I think I like that. I think if I was to change anything for Kingpin, I think that's what I would go first, and then see how it feels.
Yeah,
Because like
because
the rest of the kit, I like the idea. Like I like the idea of like kind of
yeah.
a shotgun blast, the grab, the shift where you can go airborne, iron smash. Like all of it feels okay, except when I read this backstab bit, and I'm like, this is pointless.
Yeah, because the combo here is already that you're gonna grab somebody and smash them.
Yeah,
It's grab and smash because that guarantees that they're gonna sit there and take damage from you and your team. So there's
yeah.
no point in backstab damage.
No, there's not.
You're not meant to be the main damage. If you were meant to be the main damage dealer and you had a kit based around getting to that backstab damage, 100% this would work.
Yeah, like
But
or
it's
it's
not.
like or if for instance like like when you grab somebody, it automatically faces them in the opposite direction of you and forces it into a backstab. But again, like I don't think that's
It doesn't matter
enough.
because you have to hit this. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna get that one hit, and if you don't use it to hit the stun,
Yeah, it just doesn't
you can get
matter.
away.
It just doesn't I
It
just think
this
that I'd rather see this based
mm.
around grab and stun, I think is what I'd like to
Yeah.
see.
You gotta the passive has to be changed.
Okay,
The
Myth.
characters
Myth Myth is your hunter type character. I tried to play Myth and got
hold on, let me say
absolutely
one
raffle
thing real quick.
stomped. Yeah.
If there's anybody that ends up watching this stream and not liking what's being said about Kingpin, feel free to say something because I'd love to hear that you've played that character on this game for 20 hours already and can convince me that he's not bad with that kit and passive combo. I think the kit itself is good, the passive does not
Yeah,
make sense.
the passive just doesn't make sense. And
Try and argue. You wanna argue with this? I will argue this because
yeah, it
Blaze
just
can tell
doesn't.
you I fucking played the shit out of support.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Like that's what it comes down to. Because I plan on like my plan is to edit this part out, like in the sense of all the hunters of
Mhm.
going through it. I'm gonna post it to YouTube, so anybody wants to go like learn about hunters, they can click through, find the hunter they want to go check out.
Yeah.
Um,
I just
Myth,
I hate
Myth is
this
interesting
too.
because I saw Myth and I was like, "Yo, this character looks like it might be for me." I played Myth and got absolutely raffle stomped off the rip. So I'm excited to
Yeah.
try this character again. Base health 950, health per level 57,
Why is there
base
a file
speed
link?
465, attack power
Wait,
rating
hold on.
7,
I'm
toughness
clicking
3.
this. Oh, okay. That is weird.
It is weird.
Hey, Supervive, you guys might wanna to do something about these links. It requires a login anyways, so
Yeah, that's strange. Um, Soul Hunter, you have vision of injured hunters through the fog of war. You can climb double high ground walls with a jump. You must be facing the wall to climb. So we've seen this part of the passive twice. It's
that is
also on
interesting.
Brawl, but seeing injured hunters through fog of war is really cool. I think that's a super sick passive. It's really really useful. Cool idea.
The main thing about this is just the walls and apart.
Yeah, there is verticality in the game. Charge shot is interesting because like you have your auto attack that you can fire, but you can also charge it because you're pulling a bow back, which is good. I like that. If you press, you just shoot a weak arrow that does damage. If you hold to charge your bow, release after one charge to shoot an arrow that deals max plus max AP damage. Release after two charges to
Hmm.
shoot a supercharged arrow that deals supercharged damage plus supercharged AP scaling and explosive damage with
So
increased
this
range.
is
Yeah.
interesting. You have to be able to not only watch the fight, but watch your charge
Yes.
color to make sure
Because
you're
if it
ooh.
because if you overdraw it, you're
Uh,
weakening your arrows.
and and this is why I can see you struggling in a team fight because
Yep.
on this character this to me sounds like a higher skill character because you are either shooting weak arrows or you are risking being hunted right away as soon as you're seen because the only way you're doing much from what we're seeing right now is
Yeah.
charging your arrows.
Yeah. Your other left bumper ultimate arrows. Your next three shots are affected by primal forces. Arrows affected by primal force do not need to be charged. Have increased range, knock back enemies, pierce terrain, and deal max plus max AP explosive damage.
Wait, do you pick which one you go into, or is this a level thing?
Hold on. Arrows the moment they
Is-
make charge shot faster. Is that your just ult? Yeah. Oh no, it's your ult.
Oh, it's when you're using your ult.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. That so your ult's a buff.
your ult's a buff. Yeah, because you have
Okay, this
impaling
is an interesting
shots.
character.
You can hold to charge the arrow for impaling shot, release to fire
Mhm.
an arrow that impales enemies, knocking them back. If enemies are knocked into a wall, they are stunned. Charging impale shot causes enemies to take increased damage when they're hitting a wall or max plus AP damage. They cannot or can't be used on enemy wisps. Spirit Walk is your dodge. You quickly dodge roll uh, into Spirit Walk. Spirit Walk allows you to walk through walls and objects. You cannot walk into terrain or vaults, taking damage in Spirit Walk.
Yeah, that makes
If
sense.
ends while inside a wall, you lose 30 additional mana and teleport to where you entered the wall.
Ooh, that could be dangerous.
That could be dangerous or that could be absolutely sick. Because let's say you overstayed on a wall and the enemy's like trying to chase to where you are and you go back.
Yeah, but what if you're doing it near an edge and you fall?
Yeah, you fall and die. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Both Spirit Walk charges reset. Okay. Rain of Arrows. Fire in a cone creates a wall of raining arrows. Deals rain damage, rain AP damage, and it does a slow and anti heal. Knocking burning enemies applies.
Wait,
Cremation.
so your ult is only good for your left and right click?
It looks like it, yeah. Bold.
Or only
So
your
Primal
left click?
Forces. Bold. Okay. Primal Forces. Bold. To empower your next. Yep. Left click with Primal Forces arrows. Do not need to be charged. Increase the range. Knock back enemies. Pierce terrain.
It's
Yeah.
only for your left click.
The final shot also deals execution damage. I like
All
that.
right.
I like that because it's an ability you have to choose when to use it. But if you use it at the right time in a team fight, you're going ham.
Yeah, this is like once they're at half health or a little lower, then you're
You pop it.
ulting,
Yeah.
but you gotta stay back just to get to that point.
It's interesting for sure.
This sounds like a high risk, high reward character.
Which I'm about. Like we haven't like reading through these first few kits, like there hasn't been a lot
Mhm.
of that.
Yeah.
Shiv I have played, and Shiv I really, really like. Base health 950 per level 57, move speed 465, attacks power rating 8, toughness 3. Your passive malice or Star of Shadow. When you're under malice, you deal more damage each consecutive left click when you hit on the same target. Star of Shadow, whenever you knock or assist in a knock on an enemy, you heal uh, a percentage of your max health from the looks of it. Your left click is fire a bolt of energy, dealing damage, and then it can go arc slinger, which is where you fire a bolt of energy, which does AP damage, and it refunds 8 mana on successful hit. I think that's as you do multiple hits when you get malice going, is what I'm assuming. Trick shot, you throw chain bolas and deal damage. Uh, and ground targets. The bolas travel a distance after hit. Units are hit after hitting an enemy are destructible. If a second target is hit, both targets are stunned and take bonus damage and bonus AP damage.
Sounds like Jablanca.
So this is like Xibalanca. It also reminds me of Demon Hunter in Diablo 3.
Uh,
Um, Cartwheel, dash a short distance and gain bonus movement speed. Your next left click is empowered, dealing empowered damage, implying 2 stacks of malice, and shredding armor if the target is at least X amount of damage away. Hitting a empowered shot resets cartwheel. Your speed boost ends if you take damage. Left click or your shift volt, dash a shorter distance. So I believe that when you're in the air. Phantom Dagger, we talked about earlier. Like you throw Phantom Dagger, it goes max distance and you can teleport to it. And you can reactivate that teleport at any time during the throw. Attaching the dagger to an enemy reduces the cooldown of Phantom Dagger, and attaching to an object or chain reduces it by its cooldown. And basically, Phantom Dagger is when you reactivate the dagger.
yeah, I
You're
mean, you just Phantom Dagger into freaking trick shot.
Yeah. Well, and this is why I think she kind of reminds me of Demon Hunter. Is her ult's called Death Blossom. After a short delay, you fire up to blank number of shots at a nearby enemy. Each shot deals your AP damage and resets all stacks of Malice. You deal double damage and damage based on the missing health and applies anti-heal to the target. If the target is at least X amount of units away, while in Despond, you gain 2 charge of weaker. Uh, and it's like a spinning thing where you're like firing the shots as you're spinning, kind of like what you see for Demon Hunter and Diablo 3. I thought she felt really fun to play. Nothing like too insane, but there's definitely like some high risk, high reward play with Phantom Dagger for sure.
Yeah, it sounds more like you're up and close heavy hitter, but like almost like a glass cannon.
Yeah. Shrike is one of those other characters that's really interesting. It kind of goes back to what we saw with Myth.
Okay, I got a
And
question.
yeah,
I'm seeing a lot of damage based characters. Where's fucking supports and tanks?
Aluna is a support, Oath's a support, Zeph's a support, Celeste control, Kingpin control. I don't remember if Void's control or not.
So you,
I
who's the tank?
Aluna, Oath, and Zeph. Like those are your three
Oh,
supports right now.
okay. Yeah, okay. So tank is mixed in with support, so is healing then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
Support kind of this all goes together under that one role.
Wait, hold on. That means there are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 damage characters.
Well, I think Kingpin might be under control with Celestia and Void.
I know, and I'm saying there's 10, and then there are 6 between the other 2.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Gunner or Stalker because I don't remember them being in the playtest, but I might have just been
Mm,
blind to both of
okay.
them.
So maybe they balance it out a little bit more then.
Shrike's really interesting. Kind of follows that same idea as Myth, where like you're playing at a range for like high value, and your base health's 950, 57 per level, 475 movement speed, attack power 7, toughness 3. Passive exposed vitals, hitting your left click and your ult on enemies for a duration. I don't know. It's just high damage. That's really hard to read through with the way it's written out.
Mhm.
Um, your left click is snipe. You fire a long range bullet dealing a high amount of damage. It deals 50% damage point blank up to full damage at half range. Your right click is bird bomb. You lob an explosive bird that explodes after 0.65 seconds, dealing damage, knocking back enemies, and applying a mini stun and slow. It applies cremation to enemy wisps. The enemy wisp are your down state, by the way. E is enemy in the skies. You activate this ability again and detonates your scout, leaving a ward in its location, basically like Ash or Raven wards in Smite. Eyes in the sky, fire a phoenix scouting area, revealing enemies it passes over and applying anti-heal. In wither duration, reactivate the phoenix, it will circle an area providing vision. So that's the kind of cool part. When you reactivate it, you can just cause it to like stay in an area and keep vision of that one spot. And if you detonate it, it leaves leaving a ward its
This
location.
is literally Ash.
Yeah. Your ult is legendary bullet. You fire a long range armor piercing bullet that deals AP multiplier damage and pierces terrain.
Yeah, this literally just almost sounds completely
It's
like
like
Ash.
Ash. Yeah, it's very, very similar. Stalker, I got a lot of questions about the other day. I know nothing about Stalker. Um, Base health
This
950,
is
health
what the
57, move speed 465, attack power rating 5, toughness 3.
that seems really low.
It does.
This
It
would
does.
tell me maybe a healer
I don't know.
or
Stalker can tell
buffer.
when Stalker sense. Stalker can tell when they're being watched by an enemy and moves faster while out of sight of enemy hunters. Landing attacks increase your movement speed in combat. 1 hit plus 10, 2 hits plus 30, 3 hits plus 60. Stacks fall off if you don't land an attack for 4 seconds.
Okay.
Stolen Blade. Charge stab, hold and release. Charge up for high damage stab. Release the moment it's fully charged for max damage. Continue attacking to follow stab with a 3-hit combo. Stab also shreds armor. Land a perfectly charged hit marks enemy target, causing them to take 10% more damage for stock over 3 seconds. Follow up slash cast immediately after stab to deal 50% of the damage dealt on charged slash stab. Spin slash AoE attack that deals increased damage at max range. All right.
What?
So your left click is it's like a combo system. You have
What
charge
the
stab, dash slash, spin slash. Your right click is flash dagger, throwing a knife that teleport you to the other side of the impacted enemies. Dealt
What is
damage
the
increases with
backstab
the.
damage on this
Yeah,
one?
that's what I was gonna say. This is where the backstab damage makes so much more sense. Damage dealt increases distance traveled. Dagger marks enemies for 5 seconds. If the target dies while marked, this ability resets.
Okay, so this is where it gets interesting because the passive makes me think of Lee or at least Shin. Is it Shin or is it Lee Sin in the league? Is it
Shin has
Shin?
the. I think it's Shin, right?
The one who fights with his fists and
No, that's Lee Sin.
has
Lee Sin.
it is Lee Sin, Lee Sin, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
This sounds like a Lee Sin passive where landing attacks increase movement speed. Like you are beating him, beating him, and it just gets faster and faster and faster.
It's really
And all you have to
interesting.
do is land 3 hits.
Flop for life. I'm gonna be giving another key giveaway after we get through all the hunters. So I don't know how long it's gonna take us, but once we get through all the hunters, I'm gonna do another key giveaway.
Yeah, but this is
Um,
that's missed opportunity. 50%.
you can also go. Have you if you haven't done the referral links and stuff yet? That's an option. There's a referral link, and there's also the Nexus pre-registration. Because I know they were sending some keys out as well. You have your regular dash, nothing crazy about that. E is your air slash execution slam, air slash first cast. Slash up into the air, taking enemies with you, dealing damage and grounding them for a short duration. Execution slam, second cast slash forward through enemies, slamming back to the ground. The attack deals significant execute damage. This attack slams enemies over abyss, landing the final blow with execution slam, resets his abilities cooldowns.
Wait, so how do you
So basically, if they're within execution range, when you swipe them up, you just insta kill them when you swipe back down. Is what I'm getting, and it resets cooldown.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay,
kind of
okay.
crazy.
So it's either you take him up to there, you slam him to the ground,
Yeah.
or you kill them.
Yep.
And if they're over the oh my gosh, if you hit that over the abyss,
Yeah. That's insane. Light clone, clear clone that runs to target location during its life time. Recast to update, move to location, recast to hold swap locations with the clone. Clone looks like stalker to enemies. You can swap with clone once per clone.
huh?
Interesting.
Oh, it's a short cooldown. So this is ult,
Yeah.
but it's a short cooldown. So okay.
Okay. Interesting character. I don't hate it. Interested to
It
see
makes
how it ends up playing.
sense why his toughness and power
Yeah.
rating are low because you have to build it up with the passive.
Yeah. Definitely interesting. Aluna. Aluna is one of our first supports, and I really enjoyed playing Aluna during the playtest last week. Base health is 1,000, 60 per level, 455 move speed, ability power 6, toughness 4.5. She has the passive of Backpack, where you run across a knocked ally to pick them up and carry them with you. You cannot pick up allies being stomped, but you gain 250 to 400 health shield based on level, which refills each time you picked up an ally. If the shield breaks or you're crowd controlled, you are stunned, drop your allies, and cannot pick them back up for 4 seconds. Yo, what's up, Jay?
Is there a way to interrupt people who are stomping?
I think you can attack them. I don't think they're not immune to damage. They can take damage and be killed during
No,
stomps.
I'm just saying, like, without having to kill them, like,
Yeah,
stunning
yeah,
attack,
you
like,
can CC them.
you would basically do regular attacks, cause them to stop, or is it like they don't care if you're attacking them, they can continue doing it?
I I have to go back and watch the video because I think there's one where
Okay.
I'm stomping and I got CC'd or I got
Uh-huh.
down because you're automatically vulnerable in that state of like you can't stop it. Like it's committed you to that, so you could end up with like a major issue for sure. But I don't know. I'm assuming CC stops it. I don't know for 100% though.
Yeah.
Moonshot is just your auto attack. You deal your base damage, hits apply. Moonburn to the target. Hitting a target affected by Moonburn deals bonus damage and returns. Stacks up to 5 times. After not firing for a short duration, your next shot is empowered with increased range and double return. The nice thing about this is I was talking about it yesterday. This is cool because you can build like tank items with ability haste, but I also went a build with like Omnivamp crit, and like you pop off with this because you're also healing and you provide the support with the root, which is your right click here, bound by fate. You fire a slow moving shot that deals damage to the first enemy it hits. After a delay, that target and enemies around it take delayed damage and delayed damage coefficient and are ability rooted for the root duration. It applies Moonburn on those targets as well. So I think
Hmm.
the utility here is really really good. Her ult is you can dash in a short direction, but if you're up in the air, you can dash further. So
So
dashing through allies refunds half of this ability's cooldown. I didn't realize that. That's really nice. E, your rejuvenating aura, allies in a radius around you, 2.5 seconds with a burst of heal amount plus the multiplier at the end. Reactivate to toss the zone to a target location. So you can keep it on yourself or move it over and boost by 50% for 1 second. It attaches to an ally it passes through. It is destroyed to a stunned character. Heal is 33% effective on yourself. So you really want to try to replace it. You can move it around, which I think is kind of nice.
so this character is a combo character too, which is interesting because
Yeah.
essentially you want to get a couple shots in with Moonshot, use Bound by Fate, and get your short duration and power shot.
Yep. It's interesting because
Essentially,
like it's not like your typical like support setup. Like you're still there
yeah,
to like be able to put out some type of damage to help your team. Um,
but damage is not listed. Why does it not tell you your left mouse
oh, it
button's
doesn't, does
basic
it?
damage?
That's really
Hey,
weird.
yeah, that is. They should have a determined base damage, shouldn't they?
They do because like I remember it says right here deals base damage, so it's weird it's not on the wiki. I can go look at
Yeah,
the video though. I have plenty of video on Aluna.
because they show you the buffer duration stat. Why don't
Yeah,
they do the?
it's
That's weird.
weird. Divine interventions your ult an ally or allied wisp over time. You heal. Wisp will also be resurrected, teleported to you. You can cast other abilities while channeling. If you are knocked, you are stunned or moved too far away. This effect ends. If the cast completes
Ooh,
on a wisp, you heal yourself. So
three
it's a
point. So,
big heal.
oh my, 3.25 seconds.
Yeah, it's
Holy.
it's a long time, but
Yeah,
it's one of those things that
you
does
better.
feel good.
That's one of those. I think that you're only using when you're running away anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you use it like at a beginning, you could use it as a beginning of fight if you get initiated into like a weird situation, but it's
Yeah, but
probably
the
better
fact
to
that
use later on.
it collects wisps.
Yeah. Our next character is Oath. Oath is also a support character. Base health 1100, 66 per level, 485 mood speed, attack power 6, toughness is 5. Passive is knockout, knocking an enemy into a wall with empowered bash or a fully charged hammer slash, stuns them for a short duration. So
Okay,
you
so
have,
the passive is eh.
yeah, passive's very meh.
I mean, because the stun, that's typically something that's we're already seeing on a lot of abilities anyways, especially since
Yeah.
one is already on a control character. Eh, I'm surprised there's no like reward aspect because you're talking an empowered bash or a fully charged hammer smash, like
Yeah.
stuns and armor penetration for anyone who attacks this, the target.
Yeah, it's weird the support characters don't have passive like this passive doesn't reward allies.
Well, it's just weird in general because like unless it's just an additional crowd control to what he already has?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why, because maybe they're limiting each character to a set thing, so this passive just gives them extra control and reward for being able to achieve that.
I will say like the I did play
He's
Oath
fast.
and I've watched a lot of people play him. Um he seemed to feel really really good.
Well, he's fast too.
Yeah,
He's
he's
485
fast.
move speed. Like all these damage dealers we've seen are like 475 or
Yeah.
65
No, he
or
gets up in the
50.
way. He gets up in the way of
That is,
everybody.
I mean, maybe that's why that's what they did with the passive because it's
Yeah.
really good movement speed.
So you have a regular auto attack. Again, we don't have extra information on that. Then you can do hammer throw by holding it down. Throw your hammer passing through enemies and dealing AP ratio damage. Your hammer dealing the same damage to enemies it passes through. While on the ground, your hammer grants allies vision. Yellow hammer or hammer smash when you hold it down. You hold to charge a powerful swing that knocks back enemies and deals up to smash damage amount
Oh,
plus the AP
yep,
ratio.
yep.
Um,
That's why the
that's for the
passive is.
passive. Yep.
That's why
Damage
the
based on
passive.
how long it's been charged. Fully charged after 1.25 seconds. When fully charged, Hammer Smash knocks an enemy into a hunter or a wall or other object. It applies the passive. So your regular like you when you press it, it throws the hammer and you can call it back. Your right
That
bumper
is,
is a shield, by the way.
okay. I see why the passive is what the passive.
Yeah, passive makes sense now. I didn't. I didn't read all of his abilities when I played him. Barrier shield. Think Reinhardt. I mean, that's really what
Yeah.
that comes down to. Create a shield that
Well,
blocks all damage until it runs
that
out
was
of
the one that
energy.
was moving forward, right?
Yep. No, no, no. He holds it on him. Like he keeps it steady
Wait, no,
on
in the video,
himself.
there was a moving shield though.
Yeah, that's a different character.
Oh, yeah, I remember which one you're talking about now.
So the shield regenerates energy while stowed. If enemies break the shield, it cannot regenerate for a delayed amount of time. So definitely one thing to keep in mind. But while shielding, you take increased
Holy.
damage from behind.
Okay, I just looked at the stats. What is that regen delay? That is
Yeah.
heavily punishing early on.
Yep.
Holy.
But it has a. They don't show what the health of the shield is here, but it's pretty healthy.
Uh, uh,
From when I
that's
played him, like
still
it doesn't break
punishing.
super easy, but it is punishing for sure. Your
Holy.
dash attack shield bash, dashing forward, swinging your hammer, dealing AOE damage. Empowered shield bash, knock enemies back while empowering for 3 seconds, deals 500 damage to your shield. Shields can't break while empowered.
Okay, so if you, so empowering this is you have your shield up and
Yep,
then
but you can't break in the
that's
shield, and it won't
okay.
break the shield.
This is where the passive becomes disappointing because that sounds much easier.
Yeah,
If your only stipulation for the bash being charged is your shield to be up, compared to the hammer is more of like you got to get this right,
right.
timing and all. But I like okay, I understood at first, and now we're back to
It'll
dumb.
probably hopefully it makes more sense in a second. Your 360 smash, spin in a direction, deal damage in a radius around you, knock back enemies. So, and that can you can use that while you're on your shield. Okay, we already knew that. Empowered shield bash, become immune to damage and deal AP ratio damage, knock back enemies. Ease your
81
purify
range one
zone.
time.
Um,
Oh,
yeah, I mean it does a pretty good
so
amount of
this is
damage though.
so this is a trade off.
Yeah, you're
You're either
trading
doing the 360 smash for more damage, or you're doing less damage for
for a chance to knock back and
stun
pop passive.
and stun. Yeah.
Yeah,
I still,
it still feels weird, I think,
mm.
but
The passive. I think there
purify
needs to be
zone.
something rewarding for the team.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
The
Create a healing zone
holy.
at your hammer's current location that heals per second. The zone bursts to a burst heal, bonus stamp healing after a short duration. Ally Wisp hit by this will be healed for a short duration. Heal scales with max health. Purify zone also heals your broken shield. So that's kind of cool.
Uh, uh, Okay.
And then Earthshaker's your ult. Create a fissure that damages enemies and does a mini stun. The fissure grows and creates cascading eruptions that deal damage and slow enemies. The fissure is blocked by walls.
Okay, now the passive's even more confusing to me.
I think the passive's literally just kind of on the hammer.
Here's my problem with it is this is a hybrid
Yeah.
because he's not just a solely tank. He's a tank healer. And this the passive only rewards two abilities with a stun.
Yeah.
Wh-
Well, and it
Where's
mentions that knocking enemies into a wall with empowered bash or a fully charged hammer smash stuns. Yeah, I don't know. Because you
yeah,
had to hit him into a wall. You have to hit him into a wall.
honestly, this sounds like the kit is just good enough and
That
the
they
passive is just there.
media. Yeah, I was gonna say I think the kit's just really good, so the passive's just kind of mediocre at best, and that's fine. That's
It's
an
just
okay
so
thing.
weird that like so this isn't a true tank. This is a hybrid.
Yeah,
I, hmm. I don't know how I feel, but like obviously through the play we watched, the character looks like they're worth playing, right?
yeah. For when I played him, he felt really good.
But
Like,
there's
and he was easy to
no
pick up.
rewarding tech.
Yeah, it's just kind of strange.
It's it, this is your straightforward learning how to tank with that gives you survivability to do it is what it
Yeah.
looks like. This is
Um,
so weird.
Zeph, I know nothing about because I don't know that I saw him too often. But I believe Zeph is one of the other supports. Base max health is 950, 57 per level, 430 move speed, ability power rating 7, toughness 4. Which this is really weird because this is some of the
Huh?
slowest move speed that we see. Um,
Huh?
Passives wind swept, replenish.
This sounds like
So
Booyah.
windswept is your left click applies and refreshes windswept, which amplifies additional hits and can be detonated with other damaging abilities. Maybe he wasn't. I thought he was in the support category. Maybe I'm just
This
wrong.
looks this looks
It deals double
100% damage
damage and
to it.
refreshes
What
the
the
mark.
fu
Replenishes hitting windswept target, reduces your right click charge duration by 1. Detonating windswept refreshes the charge. So your left is gust, and you press to fire a gust of wind dealing damage. You hold until flashing to fire a faster, larger gust that deals more damage, travels further, and passes through enemies. Holding for too long lowers the damage. Applies windswept. Your right click, okay, he has a support because his right click is I'm not crazy. Is heal blast, launching a healing blast at a living ally. The blast also heals allies it passes through. When you target yourself, there is no projectile, and it'll heal be 50% less effective. Interesting that the heal's different. I'm curious.
What am I
Cyclone dash to perform a short dash refunds 50% of this ability's cooldown. Hold
This
to
is your
summon
battle
a
healer.
cyclone. On release, dash a long distance brings allies with you and giving them some glider fuel.
This is your battle healer. That pisses so many people off.
This is great. Vacuum grenade. Throw a grenade at target location. After a short delay, it deals damage, pulls enemies towards its center, and grounds and slows. If enemies in the pool, uh, if enemies the pool, this is really poorly written. If
If the
enemies
cooldown, yeah.
collide through the pool, they are damaged and gain stunned for 0.7 seconds.
I'm so
That
hold
is
up.
insane.
Hold on. This character is just sounding way too good right now.
Second
What?
wind, fire a large, fast, wide wind blast, and any allies it passes through are healed. Um, and enemies are damaged and knocked back. If allied wisps, which passively revives them until an enemy stops them, it pierces terrain.
Okay,
Dude,
okay. Hold up. This is the battle healer, not just battle healer, the control battle healer.
yeah,
He is
this has a little
all
bit of
in
everything.
this is your jack of all trades character. And this is what kills me. his passive
Yeah.
has nothing to do with anything else other than his
No, it does with this.
damage.
No, it does his right click too. It refreshes the charge on your heal.
Okay, it refreshes. Oh, yep, refreshes the charge, but it doesn't empower it or anything. It just refreshes the charge.
I mean,
This
but
is
still, like getting your heal up more often, that's not bad.
it's not, but we're talking about your gust
Yeah.
being
Well, oh my god.
amplified
The heal has up to so heal the first level heal has 2 charges, then 3, then 4.
at
So
150 per.
that's not bad.
That's up to 600 healing,
Yeah,
and
that
that
passive's actually kind of crazy.
dude. Then you have your dash,
Yeah.
which also provides glider fuel.
Yeah,
Provi-
that's a
You
kind of a
could
busted kid I feel like. Zeph might
holy,
be kind of insane.
you could literally just vacuum grenade,
Yeah.
gust, throw any heal blast onto your teammates while you're being. You wouldn't even need to if they all get successfully pulled in and stunned. I
I don't know. That kid's
thankfully his
nasty.
damage isn't very high.
No, damage isn't
It's at
high, but
60.
like
60 the entire time.
still that's I
But
I don't
the
know.
fact
It's
that you can
significant.
combo, empower, reheal, holy, his second wind is
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. I don't know. I think that kit seems kind of busted out of the ones that we've read.
It does, but
I
it's
don't think it's
not busted
broken.
in terms of, like, he's gonna kill everybody
No,
either in a fight.
but in the sense of like how annoying that's going to be to deal with if you play someone that's good at just
Oh,
landing that, it's going to
100%.
be just
Anyone who learns how to combo and heal properly, I mm-mm, mm-mm,
yeah,
that's
that's
not
going to
gonna
be a
be fun to play against.
bad time. Celeste, 1,000 health, 60 per level, 415 move speed, ability, power rating 7, toughness 4. I played Celeste once or twice. She is a control character. She offers a lot of control, and I think she's really interesting. I'm excited to play her more. Shatter is the passive, so your right click and ult abilities, this is what it applies to. Do chill for 4 seconds. If an enemy hunter is knocked or a creep killed while chilled, they will all shatter after a short delay, dealing damage to nearby enemies. So basically, if you freeze people and they die or they get knocked, you're doing extra damage to everybody around them, which is kind of busted in a lot of ways because like they're gonna want to go for the heal, they're gonna take damage to be able to be there.
Oh,
Your left click is your ice dart. If you hold it, you to fire a barrage of semi-homing ice darts that deal damage for each one. At the end of the burst, fire 3 large darts that deal double damage, fly faster, and travel further. If you're hitting, darts triggers your ability passive, dealing bonus damage in an AoE. Ice dart deals bonus damage while using your dash.
your skating damage multiplier is 4.
Yeah,
You get a 4 times multiply.
yeah.
First shots are 8, big shots are what
Your it's crazy. It's a lot of damage.
trying to find base damage multiplier is point 0.5, per level is point. Oh boy. Um, you were gaining half your damage at all times.
Yeah,
Up, there it is. Base damage is 18, coefficient is 0.05, your shatter damage is 180. Okay,
it's not.
that's where it's
It's
balancing out.
I was gonna say it's not super insane, like, but it feels good.
Yeah, that
Your your right click is ice spear, fire an icy spear that deals impact damage, destruction damage in a small area. It slows after a short delay. The spear explodes, dealing explosion damage. It has
oh,
multiple
what?
charges, and this does a good bit of damage.
Right click,
Yeah,
shift, left click.
yeah. Because shift is your skate to skate in a direction, release to stop. Releasing skate early refunds 65% of its cooldown. And you can deal damage with your left click during while skating. Ice Wall's ability we saw a lot of.
Do damage.
You can summon a wall with health to block projectiles and push targets it collides with.
That's what we were seeing in the video.
Here's the crazy thing about ice wall. If you push somebody that's low on Glyvert fuel, you're just they're dead. like it's such a good ability because it allows you to engage, it allows you to disengage, it allows you just to create an area of what you want your team to be able to play around. It's really really interesting because it's just a moving wall and you're not attached to it. So I think for me that's one of the things I like to see is kind of like some innovative tech that you don't necessarily see in a lot of other MOBAs that you'd get pushed around by.
What the is this ult?
Oh yeah, Ice Crash. Become invulnerable to all damage and create a slowing zone that stacks on enemies for up to 3.5 seconds. Reactivating ends the effect. If you channeled for longer than 2.75 seconds, Ice Crash damages all enemies in its radius uh, and then stuns them for the
You have no
duration.
reason to end this anytime before those 2.75
No, you
seconds.
don't. It's better your mural. Better your mural.
Holy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. It's good. Her whole kit's good. It flows really well together. Like everything makes sense for Celeste. All right, Gunner, I don't know anything about. Base health 1100, 66 per level, 430 move speed, 2 attack power, 5 toughness. Passive Salvager, knocking or killing an enemy hero restores 25% of your maximum health and armor. Turbine Generator, vulnerability, Gunner takes 25% more damage when hit in the back. He has a minigun. You press and hold to fire. It takes 0.75 seconds to fully spin and
okay,
1 second to spin back
so
down.
remember that passive we were talking about that we would have liked to see on Kingpin?
Yep, this is it right there. There it is. Fire causes a minigun to become hotter and hotter. When at max, it will overheat, causing you to be unable to fire briefly. Pause firing to quickly cool off the gun. Makes sense. Barbed wire. Lob a device that employs after a brief delay, creating a field of barbed wire that slows and grounds enemies that pass through it. Enemies take damage based on their velocity when they hit the barbed wire. Damage per tick while they move through it. They take no damage for sneaking or standing still. That is really interesting that you take more damage based on the velocity that you hit the barbed wire. Your left shift is hover, gain a burst of speed in the movement direction, continue hovering at a slower speed for 2 seconds. Attacks and abilities can be used while hovering. Hover cannot be used while siege mode is active. And then you have hook dash, dash in area. Your E is okay. Hold on a second. Beta opens up at 1 p.m. Central tomorrow. Beta butt. E is overclock. Activate to overclock your weapon systems, drawing power away from movement to empower your weapon. During overclock, you have increased fire rate, increasing range, heal for 0.5% of your max health per enemy impact, decrease movement speed, decrease turning rate while fire, gain a shield for 25% of your maximum health upon activation, cannot use hover. Cast again to deactivate. So you're going to do damage, you're going to heal from it, but you're going to pay the price of not being able to move around very well. That makes sense. R is your ult's called Scrap Metal. Fire a salvage grabbing hook. If it impacts an enemy, it will grip them for 3 seconds and slow them. If they fall below 30% maximum health during that time, it will reel them back and destroy them instantly. What?
Oh, hold on.
Excuse me? A 30% execute?
That's the same as Thanatos.
Oh boy. Here's what I'm
The
confused
difference
by.
the difference is while they are hooked during that 3-second duration, your team can bring them down to that range.
Yeah. Here's what I don't understand. Hover says attacks and abilities can be used while hovering. Hover cannot be used while siege mode is active. What is siege mode?
I think that's during overclock.
I'm assuming
That's your
it has
siege.
to be.
Th
It has to
They
be, right?
refer to that stage as siege mode.
Okay. That's what I figured.
Activate
It's
to
just
o
kind of
because it's overclocking your weapon system, so you're gaining this increased
it has
power,
to be.
healing, all that at the cost of movement speed, so you can't hover because you've lost movement speed.
Yeah, because look at this.
It's
Ability gunner hover siege mode seat cooldown.
yeah, so because
Okay.
hover itself focuses
Interesting.
on your movement speed and direction.
Yeah.
So they should just say can't hover when
Yeah, during
overclocked.
overclocked. Yeah.
It's a weird
um
way to word it.
all right, last hunter to talk about is Void. Base health's 1,000, 60 per level, 475 move speed, 7 ability power rating, 4 toughness. Passive's Hands of Fate. Deal damage in a short span of time. Become empowered. Increase the size and speed of black hole and swap, and the effectiveness of unstable anomaly. Void floats.
Oh,
You do not take footstep noises. You are unaffected by water and sound effects. Jesus.
I what in the actual am I looking
Th-
at? Oh,
This passive's busted because there's effects that
this
have
is
happened with like water
insane.
that's dot damage. Like you take dot damage for being in
So
certain.
all you have to do is
Oh no
deal
no
damage in a short time.
yeah, but like
That's
the
it.
fact that you have no footsteps noises and you're not slowed by water or sand is also crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. That, like this. What?
Okay, this is why so many people were playing him. Gravity orb, fire an orb of energy, dealing damage. Orbs charge when not firing, and firing faster reduces projectile speed and damage. Fully charged orbs slow. Okay, at least that's good. So like you can't just fire at a high projectile rate. That's fine.
What the?
Void snap, fire a cluster of shards that deal magic damage and apply stuns.
Hey, you.
Oh, the further it the stun duration increases the farther the projectile travels. Oh my god.
Here's the other thing.
Yeah,
Every benefit you get for your passive does not apply to those two.
right.
You can just, hey, I just need to grab Orb Void Snap and get my empowered state.
Right.
Holy.
Swap lava projectile at a location, teleport to the spot where it lands, and swap places while use with
Yeah, and
any units
that's
located
speed.
there. Swap accelerates from 2.2 seconds to 1.25 seconds when empowered.
Oh my.
Disable anomaly. Create a bomb at the target location, reactivate to detonate, and deal a minimum damage, increasing 2.5 times the damage over 6.5 seconds. The bomb grows slowly, increasing the area of effect. The bomb grows larger and more quickly when empowered. Detonate
Much
bomb dealing
faster when
damage.
empowered.
That's crazy. Black hole, summon a powerful vortex that stuns and pulls enemies towards its center and deals damage every zero point 0.1 seconds. When empowered, the radius of the vortex increases from 350 to 500. Jesus.
Excuse me?
I think Void's good. I think that's the thing we got from this. Void be good.
Uh,
Already thought so. Now it's confirmed.
you don't even know the damage on his. Oh, wait, we do.
Yeah, we do.
What is that? 2.3, 2.5 shoot? What?
Because it's doing damage every zero point 0.1 second.
And its duration is 3.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Every point 0.1 second. So you're looking at 10,
230?
35
Yeah.
ticks. Whole 35 ticks?
Yeah. Yeah, 35 ticks. So every 1 second's 230 damage.
That's only 88.2 damage.
Oh yeah, I'm being crazy. 23.
That's nothing.
No, but
What?
you're getting a stun and a pull.
That's still really weak for other abilities that have over 100 damage that stun.
Also doesn't say how long the stun is.
This doesn't make sense. Why is it that damage should not be low for a damage dealer? I don't care if he has the stun and pull, because you have other characters who have more damaging abilities and ultimates that have
Yeah, I'm confused. And why doesn't the
that
third
on
level
it.
of it not do more damage? Why is it 2.52 still?
I wonder if
Nothing.
the Wikipedia is not fully
Something's not right here.
accurate.
Yeah, something's not right here.
That does not add up because
Because the
his
cooldown remains the same at the max level too. Like this doesn't make sense.
yeah, and that's a buildup, like 3.5 seconds, and you're ticking your max damage on on this for a total time should be
Just
punishing.
yeah, not 80.
That I don't. Mm,
Something's definitely wrong with that.
unless this is him as a hybrid control damage dealer.
Which
So
I mean, but
you
even
start a fight with black hole or you use it to disengage. So if you start a fight with it, you get free Hands of Fate passive, you use your other abilities empowered, especially unstable anomaly.
right, I just think it's one of those things. Like
Okay.
I don't know.
That might be why it might be that he's a hybrid.
I mean, yeah, but 80 just feels
88, but
weird.
if you think about black hole, because you use it, you have free empowerment, you use black hole on your empowerment, like all of your abilities empowered. It's not like your
Yeah,
empowerment goes away, right?
that's true. That's true. That's true.
So you use your left click, your right click to get empowered while they're taking damage, which is automatically the
I don't think
tick
it's
is
bad. I think
automatically
it has a really good team wide effect for sure.
yeah. So
It probably doesn't feel bad. It just feels strange reading it
oh
for sure.
yeah, it is, but I think it's that realization that he's a hybrid of control and damage that's made me realize like why it's set that way.
But that's all the hunters. And I think the thing I like about this is like I feel like there's a pretty diverse cast. I would
100%.
like to see like a true tank.
Yes. I think there's too much hybrid on the tank side of things right now.
Yeah, I would like to see a true tank. Now, my concern being is like if they add a true tank, is that the only are we going to see that character on every single comp? Like, are they going to have to release really like two true tanks at one time? Maybe that might be the case.
Yeah,
But I would,
I don't see that happening though, because if you look at Oath and Kingpin's abilities and passive,
yeah,
it doesn't make sense for one tank to be the pure meta
yeah.
because of the hybrid, like, because of how much hybrid there is in the game.
You know what I mean, though. You get people that jump the gun and they're like, "Oh, this is it. We got
Well,
everybody
yeah,
has to have
because of
one."
like Overwatch, you had Diva and Reinhardt
Yeah,
and Orisa. Like when they all first released in their own ways, you're like, oh well, you have to have this because this is ridiculous or that's ridiculous. And
I don't know.
I
I do. I
the only
like.
way a true tank would be forced to be played is if like that true tank had good damage up close.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the diversity in the game. I think it
Yeah,
feels good. I think they did a good job with this like starting cast. I think there's enough diversity to kind of like fit playstyles for pretty much whatever you're looking for. Besides like a true tank,
100%.
I really think that's really what's missing.
Yeah, that's what was surprising to me because Oath was looking like your true tank for a second,
Yeah,
and then they threw in the heal, and it was like, well, okay.
I just found it weird that the only one we saw of like a toughness higher than was Gunner the highest toughness at 5. No,
No, there was a toughness 6 or 7, wasn't there?
I think so. I'm going to look. There's a bunch of
Uh,
fives.
I don't think it was Ghost.
Plus is at 4. Is at 4.5. Stalker's at 3. I think is it I think five's the highest.
That doesn't make what? No, wasn't there a 6?
I thought there was too, but I'm looking at it and there's definitely not. Yeah,
That's
Kingpin's a 5, O's a 5. Weird. I don't so yeah,
Joseph's a 5.
I would like to see someone that's like more angled towards like an 8 on the
Yeah,
toughness scale.
you have ability power 8 on Brawl
Yeah. So I would like to see something like that.
and
But like
Ghost.
I do think overall the cast is good for starting out. I think there's enough there to pull everybody in, to get them interested, and then let the like I would like to see a true DPS, like just like literally it's 10 and the toughness is 1, and I'd like to see vice versa. I'd like to see a true tank. I'd
Well,
like
the
to see
closest
like
we've gotten to that is the 8-3 on a
yeah,
couple of them.
but I would like to see like literally like 10-1. You know what I mean? Like or 110 and show
Yeah, I
like
think
the
the reason
scale
that
on both sides. But I
I
think
think the
that
reason
for
they didn't is
playtests,
because that won't be playable with how
right.
this is set up. Because
Well, I
it
also
looks
think
like
in a playtest environment that could get very
yeah,
sketchy for sure.
yeah, it's definitely I don't know. I don't think I want to see any 110 or 10 ones because everything else is more balanced, and then it's your passives and abilities giving you the higher rating after that.
Yeah. I just want to see a true tank, man. I'd like to at least see a 3-8.
Yes, I think that would be nice because there's a 3-5.
Yeah. Well, that's all the hunters. Easy peasy on that front.